Hi everyone, let's be honest. There will be days you fail, days you forget, days you fall into old patterns. That's okay. What matters is what you choose next. Will you repeat regret or will you repeat effort? The real power is not in never falling. It's in rising again and saying, "This is not who I want to be," and choosing again. Today we'll talk about it. My name is Muniba Mazari, and I am motivational speaker. If you like this content, then you can appreciate me by like, subscribe, and comments. Now, move on the topic. Sometimes the loudest voice in the room is the one inside your own head. It's not always the world that breaks you. Often, it's the quiet voice that whispers, "You can't." The voice that says, "You're not enough," even before you begin. That voice, if left unchecked, becomes a habit. And if you listen to it long enough, it becomes your truth. But here's what you need to understand. That voice is not you, it's fear. It's the echo of past failures, disappointments, or the words others once threw at you. Maybe someone made you feel small. Maybe someone told you that your dreams were too big. And without realizing it, you believed them. You started carrying their doubt like it was your identity. But it never was, and it never will be. Isn't that the voice is there? The problem is when we stop fighting it. When we get tired and start agreeing with it. When we say, "Maybe they're right. Maybe I should stop trying." That's when the real danger begins. Not outside, but inside. Doubt doesn't need facts, it only needs silence. If you don't speak back to it, it grows stronger. And eventually, it drowns out your potential. You were born with possibilities, not limits. But doubt doesn't care about that. It only needs one moment of weakness to plant itself, and from there it spreads. That's why you must catch it early. When the voice says you can't, answer it immediately. Say, "Watch me." When it says you will fail, say maybe, but I'll try anyway. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to stop agreeing with fear. Your mind is powerful. It believes what you feed it. If you keep telling yourself that you're not good enough, your actions will follow. You'll start making decisions from a place of fear instead of strength. You'll stop showing up for yourself. You'll shrink. Not because you're small, but because you believed you were. And that's the real tragedy. When people forget who they are because doubt convinced them otherwise. Start small. You don't have to conquer everything in a day. Just don't let doubt have the final word. Remind yourself of what you've already overcome. Look at how far you've come. Even when the road was rough, that strength didn't come from comfort. It came from pushing through when your own mind told you to stop. You are not weak because you hear doubt. You are human. But you are powerful when you choose to speak back. When you tell yourself, "I am trying, and that is enough today." When you look in the mirror and choose progress over perfection, that is where real confidence begins. Not in being sure, but in being brave enough to keep going, even when you're not. So don't let doubt write your story. Catch it, question it, replace it. Because once you learn to silence that voice, you'll start hearing another one, a stronger one. A voice that says, yes, you can. People talk about big dreams like they are everything. And yes, dreams are beautiful. They give direction, they give purpose. But a dream without action is just a picture in your head. A wish that waits forever for the perfect moment. And let's be honest, most people don't fail because they didn't dream big. They fail because they didn't take even the smallest step toward it. We often wait. We wait for motivation. We wait for support. We wait for the right time. But what we don't realize is that every moment we waste waiting is a moment we could be building. You don't need a full plan to start. You don't need everything figured out. You just need one step. One small step in the right direction. You don't build a house in one day. You place one brick at a time. That's how success is built. By showing up, by trying again, by doing what you can with what you have. It's not always glamorous. Most days it's boring. It's routine. It's doing the same thing when nobody is watching and still giving your best. We live in a world that celebrates the result but forgets the process. People clap when you win, but rarely see the quiet mornings, the self-doubt, the failures, and the days when you wanted to give up. But those are the days that shape you. That's where strength is born, not in the spotlight, but in silence. That is where your small steps matter the most. Don't underestimate the power of daily effort. You may think nothing is changing. You may feel like you're stuck. But growth is slow. Like seeds under the soil, things are happening even when you can't see them. One day you look back and realize that all those small steps created a path you never thought you'd walk. Some people keep planning but never begin. They keep talking but never do. And years pass. Regret builds. They blame the world, but deep down they know they never started. Don't let that be your story. You don't need to wait for courage. You build courage by moving, by doing, by taking that first small step. Even while fear holds your hand, maybe today your step is as small as reading a page, writing a paragraph, going for a walk, making a call, trying again after failing. And yes, it might not look like much, but it's progress. It's movement. And movement creates momentum. Every big win begins with a small, often unnoticed action. There is so much pressure to be extraordinary, to make a big leap. But the truth is, the people who truly grow are the ones who are consistent, not the ones who are loud. The ones who wake up and say, I'll try again. The ones who keep walking, even when the finish line is out of sight. That's real strength. So if you're dreaming big, that's beautiful. Keep dreaming. But don't just dream. Move. Take a step. And then another. Trust that your effort, even if no one sees it today, is planting something powerful inside you. One day, those small steps will take you to a place that once felt impossible, but it starts today with something small, something simple, something you can do. Because your future isn't built in a moment of glory. It's built in the quiet moments where you choose not to give up. There is a silent power that separates people who succeed from those who don't. It's not always talent. It's not always intelligence. It's not luck. It's something less talked about, but more important than all of those things. It's consistency. You see, success doesn't come overnight. It doesn't knock on your door and say, "Here I am." It comes quietly, through repeated effort, through daily discipline, through doing the same thing again and again, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Consistency is not loud, but it's powerful. It's the invisible bridge that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. So many people try something once or twice, and when it doesn't work, they give up. They say, "Maybe it's not for me." But the truth is, it's not that the goal was impossible. It's just that they didn't stay long enough to see results. They didn't build the bridge. They stopped in the middle and wondered why success never came. Think about anything you've achieved in your life, no matter how small. Maybe you learned to ride a bicycle. It wasn't magic. You fell. You tried again. You kept practicing. That was consistency. Maybe you learned to speak in front of people. It wasn't perfect at first, but the more you did it, the more confident you became. Again, that was consistency. Now imagine applying that same mindset to your goals, your health, your work, your dreams. Imagine waking up every day and choosing progress, even if it's slow. Imagine not being distracted by results, but staying focused on the process. That is how ordinary people do extraordinary things. Consistency isn't about perfection, it's about showing up. Even on the days when you feel tired, uninspired, or unmotivated. Especially on those days. Because that's when your discipline grows. That's when your mindset changes. That's when you become stronger than your excuses. Yes, you will fail sometimes. Yes, you will feel like quitting. But if you stay consistent, you will get better. You will grow. You will start seeing signs that you're getting closer. And one day you look back and realize you've crossed the bridge. You've come so far, not because you never failed, but because you never stopped. Success doesn't ask for everything. It only asks for your effort, again and again, every day. Even if it's just a small step, 1 page read, 1 workout done, 1 task completed, it all adds up. These small, repeated actions are building your future, even if you can't see it yet. There are no shortcuts, no magic, just work, just showing up, just staying the course. People will tell you to dream big, and you should. But remember, dreams only come true when you work for them. And work only brings results when it's consistent. So when you feel like you're failing, ask yourself, am I being consistent? Because failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. But consistency is what carries you through. It keeps you moving. It keeps you believing. It keeps you becoming the person you were always meant to be. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be persistent. You don't need to move fast. You just need to keep going. Your future self is waiting on the other side of your effort. Build the bridge. Stay on it. Keep walking. Success isn't far. It's just on the other side of consistency. Motivation's a feeling. It comes and goes. One day you wake up inspired, full of energy, ready to conquer the world. The next day, you wake up tired, confused, and empty. That's how motivation works. It's unstable, unreliable. But discipline is different. Discipline shows up even when motivation doesn't. And that's why discipline is stronger. We often say, I don't feel like doing it today. And that one sentence is enough to kill progress. That one moment of weakness builds into days, then weeks, then regret. But if you replace I need motivation with I need discipline, your life begins to change. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline tells you, do it anyway. You don't reach your goals by doing things only when you feel good. You reach them by doing what needs to be done, even when you're tired, bored, or uninspired. That's the secret people don't talk about. Behind every successful person is not constant motivation. It's quiet, strong discipline. Discipline means creating a routine and sticking to it. It means showing up for yourself every day, even when no one is clapping for you, even when no one sees your effort. Discipline is the voice inside that says, you promised yourself. Keep going. Think about athletes, artists, or top professionals. Do you think they always feel motivated? No. But they train, they practice, they work every day. They have goals bigger than their mood. They have dreams that require effort. And they understand that feelings come and go, but discipline stays. Let's be real. Motivation can be helpful. It can give you a push to start. It's like a spark. But what happens after the spark? What keeps the fire burning? That's discipline. Motivation might start the journey, but discipline finishes it. Discipline also builds trust in yourself. Every time you follow through, even when it's hard, you tell yourself, I can depend on me. That's powerful. That's how confidence grows. That's how you become unstoppable. Not because you always feel ready, but because you choose to act no matter what. Some days you will feel lazy. Some days you'll want to quit. That's normal. But those are the days when discipline is your best friend. It says, just do what you can. Are the ones who win. Not because they are better, but because they're consistent, because they are disciplined, because they don't let mood decide their future. You don't need to be in the mood to do something great. You just need to do it. You don't need the perfect day. You just need the discipline to use the day you have. That's what separates dreamers from achievers. Discipline is the quiet power that turns average people into extraordinary examples. It's not easy, but it's worth it. So when motivation fades, don't panic. Just hold on to your discipline. Because discipline will carry you when everything else falls apart. And that's when true growth begins. Everything you do daily is shaping the person you are becoming. Every small choice, every repeated action, every routine, it's all building your habits. And those habits, they are quietly writing your identity. You see, most people think change happens in big moments. One decision, one leap, one powerful day. But that's not true. Real change happens in the small things, in the daily steps, in the choices you make when no one is watching. That's how your habits are formed. That's how your identity is built. If you show up every day and give your best, even when you don't feel like it, you are telling yourself, this is who I am. If you push yourself to grow, to learn, to try again after failing, you are becoming someone stronger. You are shaping a mindset that refuses to quit. But the opposite is also true. If you give up easily, if you delay your goals, if you break promises to yourself, you are building that pattern too. That becomes your identity. You start to believe that maybe you're not capable. Maybe you're not good enough. But the truth is, it's not your ability that's lacking. It's the habit that's missing. Consistency is the tool. When you do something over and over again, your brain begins to accept it as normal. It doesn't feel hard anymore. It becomes part of you. Whether it's reading daily, working out, eating healthy, speaking kindly, waking up early, whatever it is, if you do it consistently, it becomes your habit. And that habit slowly becomes who you are. Want to become confident? Be consistent with self-talk. Want to be successful? Be consistent with your effort. Want to be disciplined? Be consistent with your routines. Don't wait for a big transformation. Start with one small habit and do it every day, even when it feels boring, even when progress feels invisible, even when no one claps for you, because you're not doing it for attention. You're doing it to become someone better. You're doing it because deep down, you believe you're meant for more. And let me remind you, you are. Every time you repeat a positive action, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. One vote won't change much, but keep voting, keep acting, and one day, that identity becomes solid. You no longer say, I'm trying to be healthy. You say, I am healthy. You don't say, I'm learning to be confident. You say, confidence is who I am. That's the power of consistency. People may look at you and admire your growth. They may say you've changed, but only you will know how it happened. It happened in the quiet moments, in the daily choices, in the unseen effort. You didn't just change your habits, you changed your life. That's how powerful consistency is. It's not just a routine. It's a reflection of who you believe you are. And the beautiful thing, you can choose your identity. You can decide who you want to be. And then build the habits that match that vision. Step by step, day by day. So don't underestimate the power of small actions done repeatedly. They are not small. They are the foundation. They are the bricks that build the house of your character.